Here's a video to help answer a question about kyphosis. So kyphosis is the natural curve of your thoracic spine. So the area from the top of your neck to this mid-low back is considered your thoracic spine, and it naturally has a rounded curve. When our head's forward and gravity's working, that helps to increase that curve. Also, any work that you're doing in front of you where your shoulders move forward and your shoulder blades kind of wrap around here can increase that kyphosis to the point where, like my dad, who's 92, has a hard time lifting his head up. He was a cyclist for many years, so you can think about that shape that they get into, rounded over. And so when we're talking about posture, a lot of times people will say, like, I'm going to think about posture as a way to like lift my spine up. And what happens is, I'm going to put my hands on my low ribs here, is instead of just straightening out that spine to its natural curve, we're thrusting the ribs forward to try to make up for what feels like a rounded back. So you can see how flat my back can get here. But what I've done is I've sent my ribs forward, and that's shearing through my spine, and it can cause low back pain. So when we're thinking about the cues, the alignment cues that Katie offers for ribs down, we're thinking about letting the ribs rest downward. And for a lot of people, that creates the more rounded shape in the back, which is probably your natural kyphotic curve. It can also show you where your head is, so that when we talk about the head ramp, we're talking about chin in, ears back towards the shoulders. And Katie was also talking about having the shoulder blades neutral. So if these are your shoulder blades and you're in a big kyphotic curve, your shoulder blades widen and they kind of wrap around, under your armpits. You can just do that for yourself by reaching your arms out, and you're going to see the shoulder blades wrap around. If I'm going to bring shoulder blades neutral, I'm going to bring them down and not squeeze together. That's not the antidote. Not thrust your ribs. That's not the antidote. It's just having them be neutral and down. Your shoulder blades are probably going to be in different places, high and low, and wrapped around. And she shows that in her illustrations that are like cross sections, looking down on you from that. But if you're looking at it here, this ribs down piece gives you an opportunity to just let your ribs be neutral and then your shoulder blades be neutral. So one other thing I can show you is that in general, all the work that we're doing that's in front of us makes our shoulders round forward, and that can increase the look of that roundedness also. So instead of pulling your shoulders back, let your rib cage move through and the ribs come down. So I'm wearing this kind of sticky shirt so you can see ribs down. It's a small move. Ribs thrust, you'll be able to feel the edges of your ribs here. So ribs down, just a small move, not an abdominal crunch. We're not going for that, but just check and see whether you're thrusting forward or whether you can get your ribs down. And then can you get your shoulders to just come level? And it's not so much squeezing the shoulder blades back to do that, but just relaxing any tension that might be there. Hope that helps.